advance to the next round, while Sem 9 does go into the losers bracket. But yeah, also for this game though, it is another best of three between GrindSky and Geek Fam. The loser of this series, we'll be seeing them later tonight. They'll be the last match for today. They'll be facing that elimination match. But before that, we are currently in this pick and ban phase, and looks like for the side of Geek Fam, they have prioritized that Fiora.
Yeah, and again, this is going to be hard for this team because looking at this, GrindSky, they have been a very, very favorite for the Philippines. They have been a young team in the Philippines, GrindSky Esports. But again, Geek Fam is a very well-known team with them getting the Fiora earlier on. But what I really want to point out here is that on the side of GrindSky, they have a specialist on their team. They have Bambi, and Ari is not bad. Bambi has always been very good with an Ari, so that is going to be scary for Geek Fam here.
Yeah, I'm going to be super excited to see if Bambi does go for that Ari, because I also love seeing any Ari pick. But before that, we do see the Garen and the Brand being locked in for the side of Geek Fam. If you guys watch the Horizon Cup, we have seen that Garen and Brand being piloted in the Dragon side of the map by Dakun Gaming. It might be the again that combo there, but we do see, as you mentioned, that Ari being picked by Bambi.
Yeah, now that is gonna be really interesting to see, because having the Ari changes things up. Because if you have the Ari on the team, you want to take the Ari out, but you know Ari is really hard to take out. With the charm hitting, that is gonna be a CC to look out for with both Thresh. So you have a lot of skill shots to work with for the side of GrindSky. But on the side of Geek Fam, they have a lot of AoE. So you wanna do a wombo combo with those last 3 picks right there.
Yeah, and I know Ari is a very pretty champion, and that's why GrindSky would try to take her out and try to position her in different parts of the map, because her ultimate is very impactful when it comes to these ganks. But right now it looks like GrindSky is gonna round out their composition with that Kha'Zix, and it feels like it is gonna be a very good combination when they are able to use their mid lane advantage and their jungle advantage to be able to roam around the map and try to get some picks against the Geek Fam composition.
Okay, so they want to go for a pick. We all know that with their composition, that's really what they want to do here. But on the other side, on the side of Geek Fam, they want to go for full-on fight. So they have really different objectives with their team composition. So we all know what we're expecting from both of these teams. And I wish they would be able to perform that, because it's really, really hard to go for a wombo combo composition because you have a smaller margin of error. But on the other side, they have bigger margins if you want to go for a big composition. You just need to hit one CC, and that's enough for you to take down one person.
Yeah, and as you're saying about the win conditions and what their compositions is, it feels like GrindSky's composition is a bit easier to execute on, because it is a pick composition, and it's something you see a lot in solo queue as well, specifically that Kha'Zix pick. So it's gonna be easier to pilot. On the other hand, it is harder to navigate a wombo combo composition to see how good the execution from Geek Fam will be against this composition of GrindSky.
Okay, this is what I want to point out. I don't see a lot of Kha'Zix getting picked up by anyone, right? Especially on the Horizon Cup, not a lot of Kha'Zix. But if this Kha'Zix snowballs, that is going to be big, because they want to go for pick compositions. They're fighting a Fiora. A 1v1 in the jungle for sure is going to be won by Chi and One. So this is going to be really looking towards GrindSky wanting to get that early game advantage against Geek Fam.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, GrindSky is this very young team. They're one of the favorites here in the Philippines, and you could really see with their picks as well. They're not playing as what the meta was formed in Horizon Cup. They have their own favorite picks. They have their own comfort picks, as they are a very young team as well. And that shows with the Kha'Zix and that Ari pick. But right now, there is a bit of a skirmish here on the top side. It looks like just the usual things the top laners do, especially if they're boosters. But there's a fight here on the bot side.
Yeah, the Death Sentence was able to hit. Nyx is gonna fall down. They don't have a lot of damage to work with against Tactical, especially if that Death Sentence hits. That's death for the side of Geek Fam.
Yeah, and we've been seeing a lot of nutty threshes today. We've seen and right now even Bo getting that immediate death sentence right there, getting the first blood in favor of GrindSky. And as we were mentioning in the games earlier, Lucian might not be the best late game marksman, but in the early to mid game, if he gets ahead, he can really just control the game from there.
Ooh, Chi and One Gonna be able to see the Fiora. Okay, the damage is gonna come in. Look at this. This is gonna be Hockey. Is gonna be backing away out of the fight. Is now low in HP. Ignite didn't tick as much as I thought it would, but again, they were able to at least get some pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, and there was a lot invested right there to try to get Haki. It's just 20 HP, 20 HP, and a dream. He even greeted a bit and tried to shove that lane because he saw that a lot of the members of GrindSky did lift that aggression immediately. But unfortunate right there from GrindSky, they did expend a lot to try to get that kill. I believe they expended at least 2 flashes from Chianis and from Bambi, and also the Ignite. So very unfortunate right there. But at the same time, it is pressure in the mid lane. It did allow a very favorable back time for Bambi on the mid lane.
Yeah, they were able to get that back timings right in the money for the side of GrindSky. Okay, they are looking really good here for Geek fam. They're slowly just playing in the win condition. They want to just farm up. They just lost 1 kill a while ago, but I think this is going to be good for them in the later on parts of the game, because if ever Malphite gets to level 5, we're going to be sure seeing that GrindSky is going to get the brink out of that unstoppable force from Nyx.
Yeah, and if we do see that later on, hopefully it's really going to be in these objective fights, because that's where I feel like the composition for Geek Fam shines. But there might be a gank here in the bot lane right now.
Okay, again, another death sentence from Bo was able to hit. They don't have the unstoppable force yet, but there's an ultimate coming in from there. Mark Lawson was able to hit, but again, Geek Fam, they lost a lot of their summoner spells, and the objective is coming in 40 seconds.
Yeah, 40 seconds, the dragon will be up. But that was a very beautiful death sentence right there from Bo, hitting the Bran, hitting Momo, which would have been the priority target in the bot side, as well as throwing the lantern on Chianis. That was very good execution right there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finalize the kill, but still, pressure being shown here by GrindSky for game 1 of a best of 3 series. This is just good signs all around for this very young team.
Yeah, they're really looking really good in the early game. That is going to be the chance here for GrindSky. They just need to look forward onto this next objective fight. Look at how they rotated. They rotated Bambi up to the bot lane just for them to get pressure in mid lane so that everyone could rotate pretty peacefully for the side of GrindSky. I think they're going to be looking at, even though that the Infernal Drake is up, okay, the damage coming in, Chianis is just dealing so much. That is just, wow, that is so much damage coming from the Kha'Zix. They lost the Fiora, they lost the jungler. Now it's chance for them to take on this next objective.
Yeah, and right now, Chianis is starting to take this Herald. There's a lot of members from both teams going to this Rift Herald, but right now, Renekton is down half HP. This Garen is still full HP. Let's see if the Garen will try to charge, but does it look like? It looks like the Rift Herald will be going to the side of GrindSky.
Yeah, that's going to be easy, but they're forced to back away with this, and now they're looking at the next one, because with the rotation, after they go for the reset for the side of GrindSky, they can still contest for Geek Fam, because looking at this, Dante is also going to reset, so this is going to be a chance for them to go for a 5v4 against the members of Geek Fam.
Yeah, let's see right here if there's going to be a teleport for this Renekton. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, Rift Herald is summoned in the mid lane. Looks like GrindSky will just try and look at this dragon, but they'll be prioritizing getting these turrets.
Okay, they're forcing the issue here. They have that Herald in the mid lane, so they won't be confident of taking this Infernal Drake. Good timing for them. The unstoppable force was able to hit onto the backline. Tactical is going to be able to get hit. Oh no, the Garen fell down. There's going to be the chance that both was able to hit a lot of members of the backline, but it's not enough to be able to take down all of the members. 5 members strong still. Dante is sticking super low in HP. Look at that Tactical. It's just dealing so much on this fight, and Ace GrindSky takes them all out.
And what a beautiful call right there from GrindSky. They immediately turned on the Garen on the back line. They were like, hey, there's a Garen flanking right here, but it's still a Garen, doesn't have a dash. He only runs at you, so they were able to immediately pinpoint that champion, immediately kill him off the bat, and it's just dominoes falling for Geek Fam right there. They were trying to take that Drake, but Dante going in, just distracting all the members of Geek Fam, while Haki going into the composition of GrindSky. It was just very well played for GrindSky right there, and because of that very good play, they are now, I don't know, 7k gold lead and 7-0 kills.
Yeah, that is a big gold lead for their side, because I wasn't expecting them to be winning that fight, but because of the way that they positioned on the side of GrindSky, Dante being the one that is the distraction during that fight was very big. That is really what they needed during that time. But again, GrindSky, looking at this, Dante investing a lot of resources on him again. So now, the brink of the resources is on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, but
Geek Fam they're being forced to react.
That's still a Renekton though. You're trying to dive a Renekton with the
Right.
ultimate right here, being supported by this Ari.
Okay, that is gonna be the damage coming in from the new info, but they weren't able to get the kill still. Spirit Rush onto Bambi, was able to get the kill again onto one. Oh no, that launch wasn't able to hit it. Now that's gonna be the punish, a triple kill for Bam. And that's gonna be GrindSky taking a 3-0.
Sheesh, that fight right there just went from bad to worse, and it went in favor so much of GrindSky. I was thinking about, hey, they're trying to take this fight. It's a 4v1 against the Renekton, but it's still a Renekton, and it's a fed Renekton. You don't just tower dive a Renekton. And beautiful play right there from Tante, immediately separating the fight. He didn't take all four members at once. He only took two, and he waited for his teammate, for Bambi, to be able to help him out. The Twin Shadows was very effective right there, slowing down the members of Geek Fam. It looks like GrindSky is still pushing the tempo.
Oh, okay, oh no, this Garen is now gonna be forced to flash away of the fight. Now he doesn't have any flash onto this next ones, because the next objectives are gonna come in, and without the flash, oh no, this is gonna be hard for the Garen.
It is gonna be very hard for the Garen. And you know, after that tower dive, there is almost a 10,000 gold lead for GrindSky at 8 minutes into the game. They are playing their comp beautifully.
Oh, Chianese! Oh, the Unstoppable Force was able to hit him, but it was saved with the Solari and also the Lantern. They lost an ultimate there. They lost the Unstoppable Force. So on this next one, 30 seconds, that is only going to be half of Nyx's ultimate.
Yeah.
So they don't have the Unstoppable Force to work with.
But there's another charmer right here in the top side of the map. Bambi almost taking down the Fiora. And Bambi's still putting a lot of pressure in this top side of the map.
And this is what I said a while ago. You need to ban, you need to always ban the Ahri against Bambi, because if ever Bambi gets a hold onto this, he's gonna be able to dominate a lot of lanes. Imagine, you're not expecting an Ahri to be able to you need to invest a lot of resources on an Ahri. That is not usually what happens, but because it's Bambi was using it, it's really hard for Geek Fam. Even the Garen is not enough to be able to get the pressure against the Ahri.
Yeah, and look at the pressure that Bambi's doing, initiating or doing right here in the top side of the map. That Herald was for free, taken by Chianis, and there was not even any member of Geek Fam right there. And looks like right now the blue buff is being stolen by GrindSky as well. Geek Fam can only watch at this point because of the gold lead that GrindSky has.
Yeah, they have a lot of gold lead. Look at that. That is 12, almost 12k gold lead on their hands. And this is just looking really good in favor of the members of GrindSky. And man, this is just going to be real hard. I really am not expecting that GrindSky is just going to be snowballing this out of the way. 12k gold lead. Geek Fam, they need to win another fight, but they don't have the tools to do it.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, even though we did see Chianis, he has a tendency, or rather, the members of GrindSky have a tendency to still play a bit solo queue, to play a bit loosely. Chianis did jump early in the mid lane, but the Rift Herald in the bot side, looks like there's going to be a fight here.
Oh no, this is going to be the box. They were able to hit 2 ultimates on the members of GS, and they're going to be looking at Dante. Okay, that said, that was able to hit. This is a chance for Chianis to do some damage. Tactical, this didn't happen in Minot though. The culling won't be able to hit onto anyone. But again, even though that was done and dusted, they can go for the Ocean Drake just because they pushed up the second tier turrets.
And Bo doesn't miss that death sentence. I didn't even see who he was trying to target right there. It just hit one member of Geek Fam. It felt like 1 or 2 members from Geek Fam were gonna fall right there. But because of the turrets still being alive, they were still able to live. But still, a lot of the momentum is still on GrindSky's favor, and they are about to take the second Drake of the game.
Okay, and now Bambi is just... Oh no, he's just putting a lot of pressure on the members of Geek Fam, that even with the split pushing Ahri, they're having a hard time just because nobody could 1v1 an Ahri at this point in the game. Oh no, Garen is just going to be 1v1. But look at that, Bambi is just face tanking that Garen.
You don't want to see that. When an Ahri just runs up to a Garen, I don't even care if you're spinning, man. I'm just going to throw my orb, deal some damage at you, because that's how much ahead they are at this point in the game. It's going to be hard for Geek Fam. If you look at it from their perspective, they're gonna try to get back into this game. They still have that Fiora. The Fiora can still deal damage when she has her items up. They can still take some wombo combo. There might be an opportunity to get a pick because they do have that Malphite, they do have that Diana, which could initiate fights from afar and catch people off guard. But at this point, GrindSky, it feels like they just have so much gold in their pockets that the items that they have is just gonna allow them to survive the fight long enough for their team to support them and then eventually get the kills.
Oh my, that is gonna be a good moonfall onto two members onto the backline. Was able to damage onto Chi, and Swan was able to get one. Oh, that is gonna be the turnaround that they need. GrindSky, they lost one member. That's a lot of shutdown goals in their favor. But GrindSky is gonna back away. They know that the damage has been done. We don't need more in our hands.
Yeah, and you can see a bit of overzealousness right there from GrindSky. Chian is jumping in because he has a Kha'Zix. He can assassinate these champions, but at the same time, that was still under the turret. It's gonna be very hard to do that. And Geek Fam just licking their wounds at this point, trying to stabilize. They have gotten their first kill in this game. It is no longer a perfect game in any chance for GrindSky.
Yeah.
But still, the lead is still on their hands.
Yeah, very, very big lead steal for the side of Geek Fam. So GrindSky just needs to use this in their favor. They're waiting for the next objectives. They're really playing very methodic here on the side of GrindSky. They're not taking any chances, but Bo was able to take the chance and was able to steal the blue buff. That is just unfortunate for Geek Fam.
Bo is just the luckiest Thresh, I think, at this point. That was even... I'm not sure if I think he had a ward. Yeah, there's a red ward right there in the bush of the blue buff. That was 200 HP. Was able to steal the blue buff with the hook. And just... Bo, oh my god, this guy. We are looking at Bambi. Bambi has been playing this Ari phenomenally, but Bo on this Thresh has been also hitting all his hooks.
Right. Yeah, man, the death sentences, the skill shots from GrindSky, really good. They really know how to play their game, right? They are really putting the pressure all around the map. Because if when it comes to 1v1, nobody could fight against GrindSky because that is what their team comp is built for. But now, with the objectives on their hands, they're going for it. They're trying to take that a lot of pressure. Geek Fam is taking the pressure from Chianis just by sticking together. That's how you fight against the Kha'Zix. But because they're sticking together, Dante is free to push whatever he wants.
Yeah, and yeah, as you mentioned, they're just trying to stick together, trying to negate this lead from that Kha'Zix by having more members. But at the same time, GrindSky is just pulling them apart, trying to get chip damage over chip damage on these objectives, on these towers. And right now, Geek Fam is down to defend on their inhibitor. But there's a fight here in the mid lane.
Okay, they're gonna go for a fight. They were able to take one already, and that's gonna be the target. Bambi is now super low on HP. 1 HP right now, gonna fall down, and that's gonna be it. A shutdown. Very, very big for Geek Fam. That's really what they need.
Yeah, that was a great shutdown right there. The charm did hit for Bambi. Tried to finalize the kill right there, and Nyx was able to do so, but it forced her to go past the whole team of Geek Fam right there. But even though they are down a mid laner, GrindSky is starting out this Baron, but they're gonna look for this pick right here.
Okay, almost taking down this the Fiora right now because it's really hard to fight against Chiani Swan, but they aren't able. At least Geek Fam is always putting a cap on the snowball coming in from the side of GrindSky because they weren't able to take the Baron.
Yeah, and it feels like the game has been a bit slower now. GrindSky's composition, as we mentioned at the start of this game, is a lot of pick potential running across the map with that Kha'Zix and the Ahri. You can't really do that when the team is circling in their base, but right now it seems like GrindSky might be forcing the issue right here by taking this Drake.
Okay, they want to get the Cloud Drake. They were able to get the death sentence on the right target. They were able to stop it. They were able to get the kill, and that's going to be the backline. Moonfall going to be able to do some damage, but not enough to be able to get the kill. Bo is going to fall down. 3 members are down already from the side of Geek Fam. They're really falling down like flies on the side of Geek Fam. GrindSky, 1 HP onto the Garen, and now that's going to be the target. Bambi is just going in. He's going to be trying to buy some time, but the Baron is now ticking. Might be the target here for GrindSky.
Yeah, but Garen with his passive just regenning so much HP at this point, but he's trying to run away, trying to get some semblance of a defense when he gets back to his base and Geek Fam's side, but Bambi's just hunting him down. Looks like GrindSky will be ending this game right here.
Okay, that is going to be good. That is going to be the kill already from the side of GrindSky. That is going to be the win. I thought the Garen was buying some time, but that just bought them the win for the side of GrindSky. Geek Fam loses on a 0-1.
Yeah, and kudos to GrindSky. Like, that was a very great game from them. They're able to immediately capitalize on the snowball that they started with that fight in the top side. They were able to get 2 quick kills, and they're just able to keep on pressing the issue against Geek Fam. Geek Fam, it felt like they were taken aback with how aggressive GrindSky was. They weren't able to set them. It didn't feel like they were able to set their foot down in that game at any point.
Yeah.
And it just snowballed on the lead from there. If there was any adjustments right for Geek Fam, maybe they try to play a more standard comp. I feel like the Fiora wasn't the best pick with how GrindSky was playing the game. GrindSky was very aggressive with their jungler and their mid combination. Geek Fam can't have that because they don't have a ganking jungler. So maybe that adjustment right there, it felt like their comp was looking for more passive early game, and GrindSky
Yeah.
did not allow that. So yeah, looking for
Yeah.
those adjustments from Geek Fam.
Yeah, and again, they don't have any DPS on their composition. Yes, we have the brand, which is a ticking DPS, but still, the brand is very bursty. So we really don't expect a lot of DPS coming in from their side. That's why during that last fight, GrindSky are just really taking them down one by one,
Yeah.
just because they can. Just because Geek Fam doesn't have any of that finishing power against most of the members of GrindSky.
Yeah, I totally agree on that part. And again, maybe ban Ari. I
Right?
love seeing
Right?
Ari. I love seeing Ari in any league game, but Bambi's just too good on this champion. It really, you could really see the comfort that GrindSky has whenever Bambi has this. Even the Kazakhs could also see the comfort that Chianis have. He would jump into like three members try to get that assassination off, and maybe it's something that you try to take away, especially on a very young team. It's something
Yeah.
that you can consider taking away because young teams might have these more set picks, more comfort picks, and we'll see if these would be the adaptation for Geek Fam. Try to challenge GrindSky into picking different champions.
Yeah, that is the reason why young teams are really good because they have specialists on their team and they also know how to play the meta, and that's why it's really hard to fight against them. Is because you don't know who to ban, because if you ban their champion, that opens a lot of possibilities
Yes.
still in the meta that can be picked by GrindSky. But again, that is another problem that they need to look out for on the next game, because right now Geek Fam just lost because of their draft, but again they still have the chance on the game 2. They have chance there. But again, everyone, there's a giveaway that is coming along. Win NFTs and SAS tokens from Smash Chain. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network, and guessing who will be the conquerors of this tournament. Include your Trovo username and make sure it's following SGH Network. And again, we're going to be just going in a break for a short bit, everyone. We have been your casters for today. I'm Dash, and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys in just a bit. And welcome back, everyone, to the Asia Wild Rift Legends organized by Kaisai and SGH Network. And we're going to be your shoutcasters again for this Game 2 between GrindSky and Geek Fam. I'm Dash, and I'm here with Crazy Apple. Game 1 was such a blast. How do you think about it, Crazy Apple?
It was such a blast and as well as a blowout for GrindSky. Right. They were able to take control of the game very early on and just snowball the lead against Geek Fam. And we're really looking into adaptations for Geek Fam on at least on this game too, because as we mentioned at the earlier part of this day, when you lose here, it's going to be this is a double elimination, so you're going to be sent to the lower bracket. The lower bracket only has a best of one, and whoever lose the match today, this series, for this series, we'll be seeing them later on, and whoever will be losing at the last match of the day will be eliminated from the tournament. So really looking, you don't want to put yourself in a best of one position. It's very hard to come back from that. So we'll see right here if there's anything that Geek Fam would be adjusting to.
Okay, they went in for the Lee Sin, they went in for the Thresh. So they want to double down on that early game advantage for them. So they want to go for a big composition also. But right now, we have a lot of options also for the side of GrindSky, because they still have the area, as we said a while ago, that is still opened up. And if ever Chianese gets into this aggressive early game junglers like Olaf, who is good against the 1v1s, even against a Lee Sin, they're still doubling down on the early game parts of the game.
Yeah, and as we see again, Bambi does lock in that area. Whenever that area is up, he will lock that in. We'll see what is the adaptation from Geek Fam, whatever their mid lane pick would be. But as you mentioned earlier, Riven and Olaf is locked in by GrindSky. On the other hand, it is the Thresh and the Lee Sin. It looks like the Varus being locked in as well from Geek Fam.
Okay, that's a lot of very, very good champions that they have that they really... Okay, I see this now. Geek Fam really wants to get that early game advantage. They're not really stopping. So what's hard about this is that if ever the late game comes in, it's going to be hard for them. But we all know also, GrindSky is a team that is really good in the early game to mid game parts of the game. So if ever, they're battling it out with an early game matchup on both of them.
Yeah, and right now the locked in from GrindSky is that Sayarakan, the lovers duo in the bot side of the map. And again, GrindSky looks to have a very strong composition. They have a very straightforward, they run at you composition, try to get these big fights on. It's not as pick oriented as the earlier game. This might be more of a running composition at you, but it looks like on the other side for Geek Fam, they have round out their composition with a Ziggs. So this shows a more poke-oriented composition for Geek Fam.
Okay, but they don't have a lot of CC on the side of Geek Fam. Yes, they have that, but how will Varus and Ziggs do the damage if everyone is running around on the side of GrindSky? So that is going to be the first problem that they need to answer with on the side of Geek Fam. But GrindSky, they have a lot of compositions here that is really good. They have picks. What I'm not really confident about is Chianese one on that Olaf, because Olaf has this this small margin of error that if ever he doesn't get ahead in the early game, it's gonna be hard there on in the late game, because he's a very, very early game champion.
Yeah, and he's a very straightforward champion as well. He runs at you. That's the only thing he does.
Exactly.
The only dash he could have is that flash and maybe his third ability. But he runs at you, so if he doesn't get ahead, he's not tanky enough. He doesn't have enough damage to be able to do his job. So it's gonna be something that we'll be looking at. We'll be looking if Chianese could be able to get to a point where he can just run up to this Ziggs and this Varus. But also as well, it's very hard as an Olaf, if you're just even in gold, to just run at this poke composition, because he just runs and he's a free target for all these skill shots. He might just get poked down before he can even deal any damage.
Yeah, and that is going to be the range advantage for the side of Geek Fam that they need to look out for. They need to have a perimeter every time that they're going to be going for fights. They need to go for front to back on this next fights, but because they don't have any CC to stop Chianese, it's okay because they have the Olaf anyway, so it's okay if we don't have CC on the side of Geek Fam, because Olaf is going to be charging anyway without any problem. That could have been answered with a Jarvan, but because the Jarvan was banned, they're really looking forward on the side of GrindSky for this Olaf pick.
Yeah, and right now it looks like both teams are just playing very very default starts from both teams. Junglers right now just finishing up their jungle. Both are already finished up the red buff. So yeah, it looks like a more calmer game compared to our first game. But things could explode in just pretty fast because as we've seen a lot, both of these supports, especially Thresh, has been very impactful in the early parts of the game, enabling these early game picks, which can snowball in favor of one team.
Yeah, and what is good here is that I would like to point out that Flash from Nyx has already been burned in the bot side, so he cannot go for any more flashy plays right there because it has been burned by Bo a while ago with the Grand Entrance. But again, on the top side of the map, we're going to be seeing our first skirmish. They're going to be fighting. The Charm wasn't able to hit, but look at this. That's going to be the target coming into their side. That's a lot of pressure still. At this point in the game, Garen is still strong.
Yeah, Garrett is still strong. Both teams just going away from that fight. The Rift Scuttler was secured by GrindSky right there. But although this Riven is pretty low right here, but does have just made a very good trade against the Garrett.
Okay, that is going to be it on the top side because at this point, that is going to be easy for Garen to be able to do some damage. But looking at the pressure that Bambi is putting onto Hockey, we all know that Ziggs is a very safe laner, right? But because it's Bambi holding onto the Ahri, the pressure is just coming in his face every time.
Yeah, and if you also saw right there, Bambi is not afraid to walk up against this Ziggs. The Ziggs might be throwing bombs, but Bambi's just gonna walk forward with this Ahri, trying to get that charm in, which has forced the back from Haki right now. He is the one who has back first, getting those items, getting that mana back, while the Ahri right now is helping her team. Maybe looking at this blue buff right now.
And right now, whoever is going to be forced onto this situation onto the next minute that they need to go for fights. It's just that GrindSky has been losing a lot of the tempo here because, you know, Lee Sin and Ola very early game champions and we're not seeing any successful ganks yet. Very, very surprising for me that they're not successful yet because for sure, on the next objective, that is going to be where they're going to be going for that fight.
Yeah, and it looked like for both teams, they both understood that the only fight that they were looking at the earlier parts was for that Rift Scuttler in the top side of the map. There were no kills for any of these teams, so they might be just looking at the next objective, as you mentioned. It might be either the Herald or the Drake. I will see how explosive that could be. But even though there are not any kills at the moment, GrindSky is looking to have 1,000 gold lead at 3 minutes into this game.
Okay, they're going for this very aggressive pushes onto the mid lane. I'm really excited to see on how they're going to be controlling the mid lane because that most of the time that is what's going to happen. What they want to do is control the mid lane, wait for them to be able to get onto this next objective because really they want this next Drake. It's the Infernal Drake. It's everyone's favorite thing.
Yeah, and that's why we do see here some rotations on lane assignments. The Syra Khan went to the mid lane to shove that out, as well as Ari going to the bot side. We do see Tante getting that honey fruit earlier in the river, but there's a kick right here.
Okay, a very, very good kick, but they burned a lot of their summoner spells. I mean, a lot of their ultimates just because of that. Even the Chain of Corruption was burned. So Bambi is free to roam around at this Infernal Drake. Yes, they're going to be taking the Rift Herald, but maybe they can do some damage onto this next one. They have the Smite, yes. They were able to take the Drake. They were able to put some pressure. That is going to be the Resonating Strike. Was able to get the hit. Okay, there you go. There's the Smite, the Spirit Rush. But at least he was able to get one in his favor. And now the Grand Entrance would be able to hit onto the Thresh. And that's going to be the kill. Nyx is going to fold that a 2-for-1 trading objectives.
And that was just very beautifully played. There's even a kill in the mid lane. And that's a 3-for-1 in the end for GrindSky.
Wow, Momo even fell down right there. I wasn't expecting the dive coming in from Chiani's one because he know he has to Rift Herald. And that is going to be the hit again on the bot side. That is going to be another aggression from the side of GrindSky. They're really just all around their tower diving, Geek fam.
Yeah, and Chiani's he's still going for it.
Yeah, he's still going for the fight. They were able to get the kill because of that. Chianis was punished by the members of Geek fam right here.
Yeah, and just GrindSky, it felt like they have all this pent-up aggression. They can't kill any for these fights in the last 4 minutes. Just all blew over in that dragon fight. And Bambi right there playing that fight so well. They were obviously not going for that Drake because their Olaf and the Riven was taking that Herald. So they really just getting like pot shots in that Dragon Pit. And Ari was able to get a 1-for-1, which is already great because it was a 3v1 at that Drake Pit. At the same time, they were still able to pick up kills all over the map. That was a very good win right there for GrindSky. But at the same time, it's a very overzealous play from Chinese. There's another fight here in the top side though.
Oh, alright, just Glory was able to get used, and that is going to be the first kill on their side, and that's going to be the Charm coming in onto the Garen, and now he's going to be the next target, going to fall down, but they're not done yet. Bambi is still chasing onto next. I think this is going to be the next Charm that they're waiting for. Okay, the Spirit Rush is going to come in. There's the Death Sentence. There's the Punish from the Dragon's Rage. They weren't able to follow up onto Bambi on the top side.
Yeah, and great plays coming from GrindSky at the start of every fight. They're forcing these aggression, they're forcing these picks, but at the same time, it feels like they're playing very aggressively. At that point where it feels like they're giving up kills, like just like what happened to Chianis in the bot side of the map earlier, and as well with Bambi again. He did hit a very good charm in the river right there, trying to get one more kill on the side for GrindSky, but giving up another kill just because of the over chase right there.
Yeah, because they're very overzealous as a team here on the side of GrindSky. They really know how to turn things around whenever they can, and that's really what they want to do here. But sometimes they go out for trades, right? They give at least one kill for the members of Geek Fam, and that just gives life to Geek Fam. But again, with this, they don't have any vision on that side of the map. They're rotating around. They're waiting for each other, which is really interesting to see. And now Nyx is going to be the target here. Chinins 1 is going to be going for that, and that's going to be the Ragnarok call. That's going to be the kill already. Very, very fast on their side. And now most of the members are still here in their favor, rotating on the top side. But again, there you go. Tante is now just freely taking the towers, or rather the minions on the bot side.
Yeah, and good heads-up play right there from GrindSky, immediately noticing that, hey, we have control over the red side jungle of Geek Fam. We have wards over here, we have vision. We know if someone's gonna go in here, we can get that pick. They do get that pick, and right now, they are still pressuring that top side, while Tante right here is just split pushing the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, they're trying to just do some damage here. GrindSky is really doubling down on this aggression on the top side of the map. Chianis is going to go in. It's going to be the damage. Grand Actress was able to hit on 2. No follow-ups whatsoever from the side of GrindSky. But again, Momo is going to be the target. The damage from Chianis is just so much. But again, the punish is going to come in. Chianis is going to fall down because the neck in front of him. And again, most of the members, Nyx is just going to fall down also. Okay, that's going to be good. The killing spree, a 1-for-1 and a tower in favor of GrindSky.
Yeah, and looks like GS is still looking for kills right here. Still looking for this fight. Bo going in against the Ziggs.
Okay, the Ziggs is going to be doing some damage, and that's going to be it. And GrindSky still on the safe side of things here. But the objective is going to come in. The reset is going to come in for both of our sides.
Yeah, and GrindSky just always their foot on the accelerator in every game right now. They've just been always forcing the issue. They were a bit more passive in the first 4 minutes of the game, but when the dam broke loose for them, they were able to keep pushing the tempo. They were about 1,000 gold lead a lot earlier in this game. Now they're about 5k. This Rift Herald take that looks to be starting here.
Okay, they're taking the Rift Herald. They're waiting for the chance to bounce back. But right now, what they know is that Tante is pincered. Most of them are rotating on the top side already, but most of the members of GrindSky are at their ready to push onto the mid lane, just so that they can have a better positioning onto this next one. Dragon's Rage onto Tante, gonna be the target. He's gonna fall down. The flash is gonna come in. That is gonna be the play. The Death Sentence won't be able to hit, but the Chain of Corruption will. That's gonna be Geek Fam taking 1-0, but the tower in the mid lane is gonna be up for trade for the side of GrindSky.
Yeah, and there's a lot traded right there for the side of Geek Fam. They needed to use 2 ultimates right there just to get that pick on Tante. On the other hand, GrindSky did open up this mid lane right here. Bambi trying to go for a Spirit Rush, maybe getting that charm. Does get that charm on that Ziggs.
Okay, Haki almost falling down right there. Geek Fam, they forced the barrier onto Haki, so now they confidently can go for this next ones. They don't have ultimates to work with though, so GrindSky could make use of this timing for them to be able to take this trade.
Yeah, and all the pressure right now is on Geek Fam's side. GrindSky has just kept pushing and pushing the tempo in their favor, and they have been playing this map very, very well. Right now they have that 1-0 in this series. It looks like they are really looking at that 2-0 moving to the next part of this tournament, but Geek Fam still fighting back. They're still looking for these fights. They have that poke composition, but it has just never been allowed to go online yet. Let's see if Geek Fam can force that issue.
Yeah, they aren't able to do this on the right timings. GrindSky is always going to be up there right now. Look at that. They even threw the Rift Herald into the mid lane just to get some info, or rather let Geek Fam invest on their resources there, and they're going to be taking down the tower in the bot lane. So that is really good trades that they're doing all around the map. They have the map pressure. Only one tower is down on the side of GrindSky.
Yeah, and it just feels like Geek Fam at this point is a bit lost. GrindSky has been playing them around the map. I've been throwing them for a loop, and GrindSky has just been pushing the tempo over and over again. They even have the mid lane inhibitor turret in like 10 minutes in the game. GrindSky is in a good position right now to be able to put down some wards, to be able to get the vision down for them to take the Baron. Because even though it is 11 minutes in the game, even though they have this big lead, it's still hard for them to just close out this game without taking that big objective.
Okay, they were able to take that down, and they're really looking for the next ones right now. It's really hard for Geek Fam to be able to turn things around in their favor, because right now, it's just that it's looking really good for GrindSky, that they are really taking down objectives, wait for the right timings, and they're being a bit more disciplined right now. But again, Shianese, look at this. He's on the red side jungle of Geek Fam right now.
Just Chianese things right here. He did mention he is a bit more disciplined. I think his definition of discipline is just not running at them blindly, just not running at them dry and just hiding in the bush, waiting for the perfect opportunity to get these picks. But at the same time, this allows them to take control over this part of the map. He is kind of like a walking ward right now, and just really again pushing the tempo for GrindSky. Dante is still in the split push right here, while Bambi is just shoving the mid lane. GrindSky looks to be taking the last second tier turret.
Okay, Momo forced the flash right now, and that's not going to be really good for the side of Geek Fam, because look at that. They lost a lot of pressure just because of that, because there's no flash onto Momo anymore. They can take down anything that they want. Look at this on the bot lane, though. That's going to be the target, and Lee Sin is just going to be forced to back away. That's going to be okay. The Garen is in front of everyone, trying to do some damage. Dante was forced to flash away, and that's going to be okay. The charm was able to hit, though, and this is going to be the chance for them to turn around. Garen is going to be running around, just going to be trying to put some pressure onto themselves. But again, because of this, they might be able to take the towers in the bot side.
Yeah, but at the same time, it looks like GrindSky is still going into pressure on the top side. Garen was hit with a charm, but doesn't go down.
Okay, that's gonna be it. They were going for more. Lee Sin is gonna go in. Tante is now gonna be the target. The shutdown came in. Bambi, look at that charm. Very beautiful on the Nyx, but the Mega Inferno Bump would be able to hit. And Nyx is not gonna fall down just because 1 HP. But here comes the party. Here comes Tactical trying to do some damage. And that's gonna be it. 1 down for the count. Here comes the Feather Storm. And that's gonna be the Blade Caller coming into their side. Double kill already. A 4-4-3 in favor of the side of GrindSky. Look at this. Chinese is gonna be able to do some damage here. Chinese is gonna be pushing forward. That's a lot of damage. That is a Garen, remember everyone, and that's gonna fall down in favor of GrindSky. I think they're gonna be ending the game. No, 2 seconds at the clock, so they're gonna be backing away.
Yeah, and they also don't have a minion wave to force that Nexus down, but GrindSky just running down Geek Fam right there does take the delayed ace against Geek Fam, and it looks like they're putting themselves in a position to just take this Baron. Giannis and Bo is just for pushing these waves, but still with that mid lane inhibitor still down and these turrets very low at this point, Geek Fam needs to respect GrindSky's split pushing, especially from the Riven, and might not have enough time to challenge the Baron when GrindSky does take it.
Okay, now this is gonna be the chance for them to take this very easily. A Mountain Drake, the most tanky Drake in the game, but it's not gonna be a problem just because GrindSky would be able to take that down very fast. Just because, you know, Tactical is really fed at this point in the game, and Bambi is also just investing a lot of resources onto this. Next, not going to be able to hit that. He still has the Spirit Rush though. Bambi is going to be able to get away of this. That is going to be the Demotion Justice. They lost a lot of ultimates in just that one skirmish. That is not ideal for the side of Geek Fam. GrindSky, now they know that, and they're going to be pushing onto the bot lane.
Yeah, and let's see what right here if GrindSky can finish the game. There's some recalls that were stopped right here. There's still 2 members of Geek Fam here.
Okay, Bo, he still has the Grand Entrance, was able to hit onto the Lee Sin, and now that's going to be down, and 2 members are down for the count already, and look at the pressure that they're putting onto the mid lane. They might be able to take down Hockey, but they're going to be just taking the Baron here if they want to be safe.
Yeah, and GrindSky might look into the Baron right now. Yeah, there are starting this Baron is only 3 members from the side of Geek Fam. Their jungler is down, so there's no hope for a Smite Seal right here. It looks like GrindSky is just gonna take this Baron for free.
Okay, that is gonna be the Baron takedown for the side of GrindSky. Geek Fam, oh no, they have almost 16k gold lead here for the side of GrindSky. It's gonna be hard to turn things around, especially with their team composition. It's not gonna be really viable for them to do that. So they just need to get pick-offs if they want to win here, and that's basically what their team composition says. Yes, they get the sentence on the Chianese, but that's not enough because they still have ways to get away from these fights.
Yeah, Chianese has his ultimate. He can just get away from any hard crowd control. And yeah, I do agree that the whole composition is not the best right now, but there's going to be a fight right here.
The grand entrance onto the backline was able to get 2, and that's going to be it. A double kill already. That's going to be it. GrindSky is going to be able to finish this. Elysian is just buying some time, and that's going to be falling down in their favor, and that's going to be it. GrindSky was able to win this best of 3 on a very, very strong note against Geek, fam.
Yeah, and just with a blink of an eye, GrindSky was able to finish that game, catching Geek Fam, five of the members of Geek Fam at the top side of their